equip you with the resources you need to help make the best financial decisions for your family. And today we are talking about the home inspection process. The pandemic paused plenty of activities and critical work, including interior home inspections to keep contractors and home buyers safe. Now they're ramping back up, and we have Brandi Hunter Lewis, considered the go-to realtor in the A. You know, we're talking about Atlanta, hot Atlanta. Her high-profile clients include stars like Cardi B, Offset, and Candy Burris. Welcome to Start Your Day, Brandi.
Thank you. I'm here.
Yeah, we're so glad to have you. Okay, we're going to dive right into it. Some home buyers passed on inspections to avoid shelling out a ton of cash or to make their offers more appealing during a highly competitive market. What are the advantages of getting one versus waiving it?
You know, that's a great question. And a super highly competitive seller's market that we're in, you're exactly right. Some buyers did choose or elect to waive inspections. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not an advocate of waiving inspections. You just don't know what you're getting into without getting a thorough inspection done. You certainly have several options when it comes to a due diligence period or waiving your due diligence period. There's an option that's called the right to inspect, which still gives you the right to inspect the property, but you're waiving your due diligence period. So in the event that inspection turns up, you know, there's something just outrageous that you're not equipped to handle or prepared to handle, you still have the right to back out of the contract. So there are, you know, all realtors are not created equal. So my suggestion is to never waive your right to inspect, because this is a huge, large investment, the largest investment you'll ever make. And it's certainly in your done.
Yeah, I usually tell people, if you're going to spend, you know, $200,000, $300,000 on a house, what's a few more $100s just to make sure your house is safe and secure for you? But how much does it usually cost? Is there an average amount or a range in what it could cost to get these inspections? And how long does a buyer have to get that inspection done?
So the average range for an inspection could be anywhere on the low end from $500 to the higher end, you know, $1,500. They base it on the size of the home, square footage. So that's the range, depending upon the square footage of the home. Now, how long does a buyer have to get an inspection done? That's all based on what your agent is willing to negotiate. Now, in a competitive market that we're in right now, you don't see the standard or normal inspection period in a normal market would be about 10 days. But for the market that we're in right now, you don't see inspection periods any longer than 3 to 5 days. Wow. So it really all depends on what you're able to negotiate.
And we know inspection reports can be overwhelming, especially for first-time home buyers. What do you need to know in advance to avoid spending thousands of dollars on big issues after you've already moved in, you've already got the pretty furniture, you've got things set up, and then you notice some of those cracks, if you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so an inspector, of course, you need to hire a qualified, certified inspector, because to that point, even all inspectors aren't created equally. So you know, my vendors are vetted. You know, we've used them over and over again. We've had clients that have had great experiences with them. So we tend to stick with that particular inspection company or inspectors that we have used repeatedly. Now, they're going to check all of your major mechanical systems, which are generally the biggest ticket item, your HVAC system, your they'll check plumbing, electrical, all the things that are important. So you absolutely want to get an inspector that's qualified to check all of those major. You want to be certain that there's no mold, radon. So those are all the important things that any family would want to be certain that they're safe in making such a huge investment.
And then an extra inspection might be a termite thing that you can get as well. But once you get all of this information gathered, what do you suggest the best strategy is to using that home inspection to negotiate the cost of the home, which I like to do?
So here's another tip that I have during my consultations with my buyers up front. I really like to set realistic expectations, because, you know, Georgia is a buyer beware state. So you have the right to due diligence, get inspections on the front end, but we're in a market where a seller does not have to do a lot just because they have leverage in a seller's market. So with setting those expectations, you have to go into it understanding there's some things that I may have to contribute towards, whether it's, you know, if you're looking at older homes built, you know, 20 years or more, those major mechanical systems are at their life expectancy. So if they're functioning at the time that you're looking to purchase a home, you have to keep in mind that they're at their life's end. So in 5 years, 3 years, you may have to replace an AC unit or a heating unit. So as far as negotiating and leverage, buyers do not have much leverage, but even in a seller's market, you have to have a qualified agent that can negotiate in your best interest and on your behalf. So really, like I said, the agent is the number one important factor in securing a home purchase in this super highly competitive market.
And speaking of agents and yourself doing this for so long, is it better to ask for items to be fixed or ask for a credit to lower your sales price?
So it depends on the seller's circumstances. Some sellers are willing to do repairs. They're in a position to. You have some sellers that have already relocated, and don't have the means nor the resources to do those repairs. So they'll give a concession. So it's really, again, it factors down to what you're able to negotiate to make it a win-win for both parties.
And then after those, I guess after maybe the seller agrees to make those repairs, should you have the same inspector review those repairs, or just take a proof of being fixed, a picture or invoice from them getting it fixed?
Now, we require the seller to provide all invoices from repairs that were agreed to be completed. And then we have the same company that performed the inspection come out to do a re-inspection to be sure that all of those items were addressed properly.
All right, Brandi Hunter Lewis giving us all the goods on inspections this morning and the go-to realtor in the A. Thank you so much for starting your day with us.